Hi, my name is Pauline Decroix, and I am nominated in a short movie for Madame aux Camélias, or My Lady with the Camélia. The highlight of this project was actually my first international project. I came on board because my producer, a friend producer back in Paris, asked me to cut this short, and they were looking for an editor, and I was like saying, I cannot go to Paris because I'm too busy. And then she said, well, I can send you the hard drive and you can work on it. So then I worked on it from here at Toronto. And then through Zoom or Skype back then, we did a couple of interaction with the director who was also traveling all around the world because he's an actor also, as you can see, because he's playing in the short. And then we did the rest of the post-production through another country, Lithuania, because my producer actually met and co-produced with another producer that they met at the Berlinale festival back a few years ago, and they wanted to do some work together, so that was their first project together. So that was quite amazing to kind of, juggle between, talking to someone in Lithuania, post-production, and then my producer in France, and then myself, just to trying to find some, time. It was sometimes crazy, but, through WhatsApp and email and whatever, it was amazing. So yeah, that was my highlights. My favorite tip, or it's not my favorite, but one I can share that I like to use is when I feel stuck in a cut, like I cannot find, the right flow or, the right way to cut these two shots together, then I try to mute, take out the sound, take a step back, trying to look at the flow of, everything, and then see what's actually going on. And then I find that sometimes sound is distracting, although it can help, to cut to something, but it also distracts, from, your attention to know how to really, what's happening. So anyway, I'm trying to always cut the sound, look at the cut, and usually I can find, anything, body language or whatever that was disturbing, and then I found it right away. As you noticed, it's international production. So right now we don't have any distribution in Canada. We had only distribution in Europe and mostly in France. It was broadcasted through the French TV. But I can share with you some a Vimeo link that you can actually watch. So I'm happy to share it.
Hi, my name's Orion McCaw. Myself, Gina, Pacheco, and Michael Hillmer, who couldn't be here today, were nominated for our work in Carmen, Sandiego in the category of Best Editing in Animation. One of our favorite things about working on Carmen Sandiego was just getting to be a part of a show that was both very modern and inspiring to young women.
Absolutely. Since Carmen Sandiego is a Latina heroine voiced by a Latina actress, and here I am, a Latina editor, working on the show, it felt very important to me to work on a production like this. So as a heroine, Carmen is strong, determined, and committed to her moral compass. And these are all attributes that really resonate with me and that I admire. It's a very different show that I grew up with. So working on a show that young girls and even young boys could look up to had a very big personal impact for us. And it reminded us that representation matters, especially since Orion and I have young nieces, and Michael has a young daughter, and they all fell in love with this show. So this show taught me a lot, both technically and creatively. I had a phenomenal team help me. I came from a live action background, so timing was something I had to relearn in animation, and I learned a lot of tricks that I still use to this day. Getting up and doing motions and doing the antics for movement was a really big help.
So my tip is more of a technical tip. So I've recently been using a lot of peripherals in my workflow. I've been using foot pedals and gaming keyboard to create macros for Avid as a way to sort of cut down on inputs. And this started out mainly as a way to reduce repetitive stress issues that I was having. But I've found that it has the added benefit of just speeding up a lot of my process. So that's been really great. Currently, Carmen Sandiego is streaming on Netflix, so you can see the first and second season as well as a interactive special that we put together on there right now.
Hi, my name is Eamonn O'Connor, and I am nominated for Best Editing in a feature documentary for Once We're Brothers, Robbie, Robertson, and the Band. I'm nominated along with my co-editing partner, Daniel Roher, who's also the director of the film. A highlight of working on this project was working on the band as well as Bob Dylan's catalog. I've worked on projects in the past on the band, and I'd say that they're my favorite band. So to work on a project where I get to dive into that music and use it to score our film was just a real treat. And of course, I'm a fan of Dylan too. And just to take the two stories and kind of meld them sonically, musically, as well as how their two stories converge in Woodstock and then beyond was just a real amazing experience for me. Also, the film was produced by Ron Howard, Brian Grazer, and Martin Scorsese. So working with those guys wasn't so bad. And we went down to Woodstock and stayed with Garth Hudson for a night while we did an interview with him. And, you know, meeting Robbie, another one of my heroes, it was an incredible experience for me to work on this film. In terms of an editing technique that we used for this film, Daniel comes from an animation background. A lot of his earlier films are animated films. And so one of the things that we looked for is outtakes, photographic outtakes, that is. And we would approach photographers and we'd say, listen, we've seen all of your iconic shots, but what we want to see is all of your blurry, discarded, out of focus, disused photos. And then we scan them and then edit them to the music in quick succession to create little animated sequences. In the final film, you can see a couple of them. There was actually more of them in some of our original cuts, but as the film shifted and changed, some of them had to go. But that was a real treat, and that was something actually Daniel brought to the table, and I love it. It's part of it's in my bag of tricks now for good. You can watch Once We're Brothers, Robbie Robertson and the Band on Crave in Canada and all major streaming services in the United States.
Hi, my name is Rachel Georges, and I was nominated for This Ink Runs Deep for the short documentary category. The highlight for me working on this project was learning all about traditional Indigenous tattooing methods and learning about the history and the culture and the deep meaning behind each tattoo. My favorite editing trick is the crossfade. It is so helpful for blending audio together and getting rid of those pops at the beginning of clips. It's very useful. You can watch This Ink Runs Deep online at cbcgem.com.